Welcome to Tanked Up, a bit of an odd edition. We're putting together a shelf. This is Ben, I'm with Aadil.
Hey!
And we've decided, as we have no time, as we were discussing last week, to game or podcast, we thought we'd come to you whilst we're building some shelves.
Woo!
We are in beer as well, so we should be discussing... what are we drinking? I've forgotten.
Vibrant True something or other.
We've got a Viper and True Quintet IPA. 6.6%, a nice 500ml bottle. So we'll be drinking that throughout whilst we're trying to talk about games in the middle of building a shelf.
Or at least talking about stuff in the middle of stuff.
Yes.
Nose.
A little bit of a different episode. But I'm sure you'll enjoy it anyway, as we'll probably enjoy these beers.
Nose is like a malted honey.
Yeah, nice and sweet.
There's a little bit of a tang there though. Oh, I know what I'm going to say.
Tropical fruits of some kind?
Grapefruit.
There is a slight hint of fruit, of a more tropical kind of sweet fruit, definitely.
Oh, it's quite tasty. That's grapefruit.
Yeah, undeniably.
Yeah, like, not psychosomatic grapefruit, but actual factual.
And there's not much more in terms of not flavours, but it's sort of that is it, isn't it? Really,
The core of it.
Yeah.
A
little bit of finish.
Yeah,
not hugely.
The hops sort of kick in the last 3 quarters, but it's not a long finish.
No, not at all. And it's almost that very Viper and True kind of balanced taste as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's nice. I like it.
Me too.
Right. What bit of the shelf are we doing next? This bit?
The top.
So, I suppose we should discuss, as we've just also experienced a quick game of it, discuss Paragon.
Yeah.
It's currently in open beta.
No, it's not.
It's not open beta, it's a closed beta.
It's closed beta.
You
just got a free
yes.
starter pack.
You have to have the Founders Pack to be able to access it. Is that
or
right?
a starters pack.
Or a starter pack. I think I picked up or had the Founders Pack for free through PlayStation Plus last month. Go.
Oh shit! Still not paying attention. I totally scuffed it.
It's the top. It won't matter too much.
Yeah.
Give it a good bang. There you go. Yeah. So.
I'm so clumsy with hammers that I usually actually grab a cloth or something when it's a veneered thing.
Just in case.
Although that means I've never actually developed the skill of paying attention because I've already dealt with the
You have the fail-safe in place already.
Except for just now. I apologise.
How do we go through that? Let's screw them in through the side, don't you?
Yeah.
So I haven't played it yet, but I've watched you play it, Aadil. What's your first thought on Paragon?
Well, like I've mentioned before, Paragon is I've had it on PlayStation and PS4 since April or March.
Yeah.
Or way early this year. And I struggled to enjoy it. I played a handful of matches, both AI and playerful, and I just found the intro character slow, and it wasn't quite as dynamic, and the leveling took a while. And the worst thing is if you end up not leveling as quick as your colleagues in the match, they end up killing things much quicker and getting all the level points much quicker, so you sort of stay lagging.
Yeah, so you have a progression system in the match itself, which allows you to upgrade the abilities of the character that you've chosen within the match. So it might just be that this is your a special attack assigned to this button that does 300 damage, and the next upgrade means that it does 320 damage.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
You can also, it's sort of got a card deck for boosts where you get a certain amount of points per level, and then when you go back to base, you can spend those points buying cards, which you can unlock more and add to your deck, etc. in the sort of as part of the meta game. What did you think?
I suppose my first thoughts as an observer was that it did look slow. The cooldowns on a lot of the abilities were quite long. You were using I can't remember the name of the character that you had, but
Flying robot caster.
yeah, and the default attack also seemed quite slow. It's not a fast-paced Twitch game, really.
I wouldn't even say Twitch is the problem. Like, I'm not a super Twitch player. I think the problem is it's slower than average.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
in a world of Twitch, it seems ultra slow.
I mean, I've never really been one for watching the sort of MOBAs, like League of Legends and stuff like that, when they have their big competitions. It's just not something that I'm really that interested in. So to just sit and observe this didn't really give me a huge amount. So it's...
Yeah, I guess the problem we both discussed was that neither of us are really MOBA players.
Yeah.
So we're not sure if this is a good example of a MOBA, and we just are griping that it's not our scene. It really punishes you for going ahead of your minions, which I understand is not part of the schema. But I felt like it was a little too much of a punishment.
Yeah. As with other MOBAs, you have areas like towers and stuff which you have to take down to be able to progress across the map to get ultimately to a base which you then have to destroy to win the match. And as soon as you stepped into the area and you attack something within that area, you start to get damaged by this tower, and actually it takes chunks out of you in comparison to what the other player characters can do to you. So if you're not sat behind this shield of minions, you're quite sort of trying to think of what the word is, and I can't think of what the word. You're
Exposed?
disadvantaged. You're exposed.
Yeah.
You're really punished for not playing the game as it wants you to play.
Yeah, I mean, it is nice that until you attack an enemy character, the tower will not target you. Even if you're the only person there, you can just keep smacking it as much as you want. The problem is, of course, that the only way you can damage these things, or at least when I played originally, we couldn't quite confirm, but it seems like, is if you, with your slow standard attack, which, as far as we can tell, the only way it levels up is with you leveling up. So it definitely, it seems like it scales with your level, but it doesn't actually tell you.
And it's almost like the one thing that you wanted to sort of, when you had those points to be able to level up, we were sat there thinking, how do we actually put more points into our default attack? Because that is the thing that you were using the most.
Well, it's the one thing that didn't expire for 15 plus seconds.
So you kind of want that to be
upgradable,
definitely. I'm not sure whether that adds to the slowness of the game, that actually all of your other abilities are increasing in power. So yes, you're doing more damage with them, but you're sort of not... like the default attack just doesn't keep up, almost. It just seems a bit futile to keep using that one, even though that's what you're using the majority of the time. I've only seen you play that one character, so it may be different with other characters that actually their default attack is a little bit quicker.
But my original gripe was with the twin stick shooter guy. Twin stick shooter.
Twin pistol.
Twin pistols, yeah, was that he had pistols, but he was shooting slower than you would with, like, 38. Like, it was just so slow.
Yeah.
And this just... I had immediate deja vu with this guy, who is a caster who's shooting some sort of energy bolt.
Yep.
And it's just...
It's almost like he's got an arm cannon, isn't it?
Yeah, and I guess my problem with it was, we didn't notice this until we discussed it afterwards, but the fact that your special moves can't destroy towers means the matches are just so long because at your best case scenario, if you're somehow alone because a friend is taking care of all of the minions, you're still just going to be standing there holding your default attack over and over and over again to destroy the towers because your special moves don't do anything.
And that can slow it down quite considerably as well. I think you move through the map and you have towers that you have to progress past. You then have a line of incubators or something something else, which is basically just another 3 towers, and
of a slightly different type.
Yeah, and you then take those down to move in through the base. And in a half an hour match, we'd only experienced taking down one of these 3 sort of last line of defense type towers. So it's another thing that if you want to jump in and have a quick 15-minute experience, you're probably not going to get that from this.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing is we didn't... we elected to play AI just because, well, you were taking care of the baby, and we wanted to be able to talk about it as we did. And bots aren't the same as people, but, I mean, if it's people of the same level, I would see it almost being more of a stalemate than bots poorly choosing which lane to go up.
Yeah, definitely. It's a sort of... And it's not just an odd choice that they've taken to make it sort of so slow in comparison to, say, a lot of other games which are sort of much more fast-paced, like things such as Call of Duty and stuff like that. Because I would imagine your audience for this game are going to be coming from a lot of first-person
or third-person
shooters, and to not have that speed that sort of matches a lot more of the modern games.
I just realized that if I was in like a League of Legends or overhead more overhead MOBA style, or even tower defense style, I would be less annoyed. But I'm definitely playing as this person. Yeah. And like, if I had to attack this slow in a game like The Division, I would have quit like within 4.5 minutes. If that. As soon as I realized it wasn't getting any quicker.
Definitely, I'm not sure when this releases, and whether those pacing issues will be dealt with. You know, it might be that actually a lot of the people that they have got playing the game do come from more of a MOBA background, and it's not the first person, third person action shooters that they're taking from.
I guess then my question is, they're billing themselves as the like third-person MOBA that you want to play, but what is the advantage of this versus the other things if it's the same? Like, it's just hit C to change camera. Like, it doesn't.
Yeah. But it's I suppose the thing to kind of compare it to as well would be Battlefront, because you can jump between third and first person within that game, and with Battlefront, when you jump between those 2 different views, at least I didn't feel any sense that in the different views that it slowed the game down. All it is just a case of perspective of what you can see and what you feel more comfortable having in front of you.
Hey, I'm a hero, I want to see myself being a hero, basically.
Yes, and
also lightsabers look stupid in first person. Sorry, it's just the truth.
Yeah, that's true. And with Paragon, your sort of thought goes towards, is this similar to Battlefront in that third person kind of view? Okay, it's not a shooter as such, but Battlefront, just even though that seemed quite slow in comparison to a lot of the other shooters, Paragon's even slower than that. So
I guess talking about the pacing, now that you mentioned sort of changes of view, in Battlefront at least, and even other and third person or first person, I feel like I'm the thing that's playing. Yeah. Well, with this, because I feel so restricted, and again, this is totally just my feeling. I feel like I'm commanding a robot almost. Like I feel divorced from the thing on the screen because it's just so slow. Like it's just doing things not how I would want to do it. I guess there just seems to be a disconnect with the character, and I think that's just from pacing. And again, if I was playing from a different perspective, I wouldn't care. but because I'm in this standardly, like you control it, etc., it just it bothers me.
Yeah. Banging. I suppose another thing to discuss was the default UI, which was very, very crowded. There was a hell of a lot going on the screen.
Yeah.
In terms of the abilities you had in one corner and the buttons that were assigned to them.
I mean, I think part of it that didn't help it was that it was, I think because it was the first time we were playing a match on that account, it had these like 4 goals, like kill, at least do a killing blow on a guy, and da-da-da. And those lines took up the only sort of open space on the frame, if you will. On the left-hand side, it was just these tooltips. So suddenly the sort of open area where you're not looking through UI was like the middle of the screen where like you had a quarter, a fifth of the screen width border.
Yeah.
All around taken up by UI.
Yeah, completely. It just looked crowded. It looked messy. It detracted from the gameplay. So after a brief interlude our end, baby related, we'll get back into discussing. So how are you finding this beer?
I love it. Yeah, it's definitely citrus. It's it hits the spot. It's sort of a warm but not hot, muggy day, and it feels right. I feel right at home drinking this beer.
Yeah. I mean, it suits us really well for the kind of day that it is. Sort of not quite blisteringly hot summer's day, but I think even then it would suit that quite well. And it's very easy to drink. It's very sessionable. I mean, what is it? 6.6%. So it's a little heavier than a session beer, say.
Oh yeah.
But it's very nice. You know, with a lot of these tropical, fruity sort of beers, that actually maybe one or two, because of the intensity of the flavour, sort of one or two of them is enough normally. But because this is quite subtle, it's very well balanced. It's a nice beer that's just going to allow you to keep going, really.
So it's the first time I really looked at the bottle, and it's called Quintet because it has 5 different hops, and it's actually an IPA.
Yeah.
Which I should have told by the coloring, but it's such a smooth, low finish, not smacking in your face that you could easily think it's something else.
Yeah, completely. It's very light for an IPA, which is probably it's sort of a little closer to sort of a pale ale rather than an IPA. But yeah, it's very good. It's very good. I'm going to enjoy the last of this. So, closing thoughts on Paragon.
I look forward to the changes as it goes open beta. I think mid-month, where if you didn't have a pack, that's fine. I don't actually know what the final, whether the final game will be free or whether it'll be like starter pack is £15 and that's the game.
Yeah. Because at the moment the starter pack only unlocks maybe 8 of 16-ish.
Yeah,
characters.
which you unlock over time. I think that's part of the metagame where you level up the characters, and I haven't played in months, so I can't actually remember what that does. But I know you unlock characters over number of matches played. I think you have a personal level and the character use levels them up. In traditional modern gaming fashion, there's like 7 treadmills going on.
Yeah.
But I'll poke at it a couple more times, but
yeah, I think
it's just not my scene. I think
no, completely, and I think maybe once it comes out of beta and it is its full release and has been patched, that might be when I have a jump into it and have a go and see what the changes have been from this experience to that, just to see if I would play it anymore, I guess. And because I now have it through PlayStation Plus, it's sort of a no-brainer to be able to jump back in to check it out in a month or so's time when it's been fully released.
I actually wouldn't. I know time is valuable, but I'd be curious with you behind the controller if your thoughts would differ. I don't think it's worth your limited gaming time to do that because I'm just not a big enough fan. But in that 2-month time, if you have time, a report back would be interesting.
Yeah, definitely. So let us know if you guys have played Paragon and what you think of it. You can do that by going onto Twitter and sending us a tweet at tankedup_cast. You can get hold of me at Nova_47 on Twitter as well. Aadil is
at the Omniarch on all of the things. So that's TheOmniarch on PlayStation, Xbox, Steam, Twitter. But of course, having freshly moved to the UK without anything and my laptop being gone, you can only reach me on Twitter or the Tanked Up Twitter account because I don't have an Xbox, PlayStation, or PC right now.
They could email us as well.
Oh, where would they email us?
What is that? tankedup@gmail.
TankedUpCast.
Oh, always get it wrong. I put a dot in. I don't remember.
We also have a Facebook page which has had some use. We'd like to, once things get a little more settled, we'll probably amp the usage of that. And you can always visit our network at outoflives.net.
Ooh, nice. Go over there. There's lots of articles that all of us write.
I've written 0 articles for
that some of us write.
Almost all.
Almost all. There's loads of different content, reviews,
other
stuff
podcasts.
about TV, other podcasts, movies, games, comics as well now.
Oh, I didn't know that.
There's a new podcast, Out of Heroes.
Out of Heroes. That it right now has only 2 episodes, and they've both been on the Out of Lives feed.
Okay.
But yeah, you should check us out on things and drop us a line. Let us know how we're doing, how you're doing, and of course, as always, 5-star review on iTunes is great because then we get more reach, and more reach means
more beer.
Yeah, I don't know how that works, but that's how it works.
That's definitely how it should work, at least.
And for another week, possibly 2, we've been
Tanked Up. Take it easy, guys. Thanks for listening.
Bye. Thanks for listening.
I almost said thanks for coming, but that wouldn't have been correct because no one has come here apart from you.
It's early yet in the evening.
There.
Yeah. Awesome. I hit stop. Not recording.